about that. It's just that I'm laughing for three different reasons. One is for the fact that I have no freaking idea what is going on. Second of all, because if it is exactly as I say, then I'm almost gloating a little bit. And three, if it's not who I be, then I'm actually beginning to question myself. Uh, is all this some sort of hints of some sort? Hi, for those who are watching. It is the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, or maybe the Mad Laughter Villain. Trust me, that's not the best mad laugh I can do. Well, if it can be best at all. First of all, we have a cute cover chapter. It's the Dressrosa people. Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not like that cover. Well, because they can just not let go of the grudge they have against Rebecca. And I agree. I mean, I do not know why Rebecca failed as a character, but if I have to guess, it was the voice. Strangely enough, it was her clothing too. And for the first time, she's actually dressed in a little bit more appropriate. But I love seeing the dwarf, especially Wicca and Princess Marjorie, celebrating Kuro's birthday, huh? I mean, it's not a where are they now, it's in the cover art request. That's actually kind of sweet. So, onwards to the chapter. What I do not like at the beginning of this one is the fact that Carotto have been captured, and Sharper too, and they're being held in Brule's house, where they're about to turn Carotto into some kind of stew. Why I do not like that? Because, I mean, come on. Is Carotto really that weak? I mean, she's among my favorite new characters. She must be strong. I don't care if Brule is a member of a four Emperor Pirates. I want to know more. Also, it's confirmed that that house we saw near the not the Forbidden Forest, the Lost Forest, or whatever. No, Forest of Temptation was indeed hers. But it seems like she also has a house in her mirror worlds because Chopper and Carotto have still not left the mirror world. And Brule is surrounded by homies. Seems like they take orders a very lot from her. We see Randolph for the first time. We see a weird guy who seems to be a long-armed tribe member, and we see that crocodile homie who mentions that no, he really doesn't like to eat humans, but he has no problem eating something else. Even though Chopper obviously points out she's not a real rabbit, she's a mink rabbit. And Brule is determined to turn Carotto into stew, while at the same time giving Chopper to her mother. Apparently joining a strange collection, because we see that later. And here's something that is very strange to me. It seems like Chopper is in his heavy point, and he is chained up. But this was all according to his plan. He can change a way to get out of this transformation. What I'm surprised about, are you telling me these are just normal chains? Are you telling me Brule didn't realize that Chopper is a devil fruit user? I mean, if those are Kairoseki, then technically Chopper shouldn't be able to switch. If they're not, then I'm just saying, Brule, you just made a huge mistake. Also, who is saying ribbit all the time? A rabbit? I mean, is because at the moment I actually think it's Chopper. No, what I said. Carotto. Oh yeah, and the soup is of course a lie. And now we switch back to Big Mom, and once again we see her insanity. In fact, this whole chapter, what I say in the beginning, what I was laughing against some people, this whole chapter just further makes every single theorist, at least to me, the first time I read it, make every single theorist about the fact that Big Mom can become an ally. That went down even further than before. Oh, sorry about that. Because now we see her collection. And her so-called collection is because they are giant books that are made by her son Montor. We, of course, do not hear what his devil fruit is, obviously. But Big Mom, like a child being very excited, shows big books to the wind smokes, which contain strange rare species, including a manticore that fled from Impel Down, and for some strange reason a unicorn, although technically that looked more like a zebra with a unicorn Spike. And then she has the nerve to show that they even have humans in that picture. Uh, some kind of kinokobito, and even a hybrid man species. Well, not a man per se, but apparently a long arm and a long leg can mate. I mean, of course they can mate, but what I mean is, I thought when they mate they would be one of the other, but no, when a long armed and a long leg mate, they seem to have. They can, but not. But according to Big Mom, it's rare. They can create a hybrid of a long arm and long leg called a long limb human. It's also one other thing that is very strange. The Vinsmokes actually seem to be disgusted by the fact that Big Mom have humans in that. Why is that strange? Well, up until now, the Vinsmokes have been nothing more than irredeemable monsters and irredeemable thugs, as well as asshole politicians, which I, by the way, hate. But even they, and they look down on communists, but even they doesn't seem to enjoy Big Mom's collection. Mostly because apparently every single person that is trapped in those books are alive, but they do not age. And then we come to the second part of something that is very, very, very strange. At least to me. Once again, I am seriously asking, what goes on inside of Big Mom's head? Because now I am even more confused. It's according to Jaji, there is no giants on Totoland. I thought I saw a giant, but no, there is only large humans. It's the closest to a giant. But there is no real giants, and Big Mom actually looks pissed at that. This is the same woman that wants to turn her entire family into giants. And are you telling me she hates giants? Have you any idea how hypocritical that is? Or hypocrite that is? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is something that is not right here. There is something that is wrong in these situations, wrong with this picture. And in fact, it only gets more the more further we get down in the chapter. Are you telling me Big Mom is not a fan of real giants, yet she has no problem turning her entire family into giants of her own? Why does she dislike giants? She also said she wanted to have a total land with all the species in the world, and yet she doesn't include giants? In fact, giants is a species we need to find more about. We have heard much about them, but now I'm even more confused, because after all, giants is the only species, besides perhaps long-armed or others, that is actually acknowledged by the world government to join their marines. I mean, they don't have a single mink nor a single fishman. So why do they acknowledge giants? Well, giants are that powerful, but there seem to be two types of giants. The one from Elbath, the more barbarian yet more honorable ones, and the ones that look more human yet are more despicable, like the marine giants. Of course, Jaguar di Sal was the exception, although if you ask me, he doesn't look so much human. So Big Mom just brushes that off after she gives an angry face, and she decides to answer a call made by some weird-looking guy. Wonder if that also is her children, as she will take care of some business. And then we turned out to another part of the library, apparently the prison library, meaning that Big Mom has imprisoned a lot of people in her picture books. We see her children, including the eldest son, where Nami and Luffy are captured. But Big Mom doesn't appear in person. She talks into a Dendemushi. Have you any idea how arrogant that is? That is just arrogant beyond belief. She really sincerely believes she can stop this. And here's the funny part. The fact is that Luffy, even despite being so weakened from all the fight, despite not promising to eat until Sanji comes back, he still proclaims himself he's gonna break out of this and kick her ass. I mean, Luffy is fearless. Don't get me wrong, we always known he has been fearless and always known to him to be a little bit full of himself sometimes. But Luffy is also a guy that will never stop unless something tragic happens to him. Think about it. He didn't stop in the Marine Wars. Despite being tossed around like a rag doll, he didn't stop until his brother died right before his eyes. Then he stopped. So to break Luffy from this, you actually need something spirit breaking, because Luffy, even if he stands no chance against fighting Big Mom, he is determined to fight Big Mom once he gets Sanji back, because he says that I'm only here to get Sanji back. But if you want to fight me here and now. Of course, Big Mom brushes that off, but saying like, but if this if this wedding goes wrong, get ready to see hell. And now comes the funny part, which is a lot of Theorists also has talked about. Apparently Big Mom is gonna open the Tamate Bako, the treasure chest from the Fisherman Island, which we know she got in the tea party. And as we know from the Fisherman Island arc, there is a bomb in that box. There's a very huge chance Big Mom is gonna get a wound that may very well wound her. That can change everything. Of course, Luffy also blows out the fact that Pudding is his friend. Then we come to the strangest and by far the most confusing part of this chapter of all the one. Big Mom asks Nami, how do you know Lola? Did you kill her? No, I didn't kill her. She is my friend. Lola is doing well. She gave us this Vivery card to help us. And Big Mom says, don't bullshit me. That's the strange part. I have been talking about this very much, but no one has been listening to me because, well, it's stupid to talk about it. But it's the fact that I ask myself, how can a person like Lola possibly come from someone like Big Mom? Everything that Lola has said about her mother is wrong. And this confirms it. Big Mom despises her daughter Lola. She doesn't love her. She hates her. Because apparently Lola ran away from home and from a political marriage that apparently would have gained Big Mom, would have allowed Big Mom to get a power which would have allowed her to get a power that may even have surpassed all the other Jonko and become the Pirate King. There is something that is not making sense here. There is something that is not making sense here. A lot of theorists have been talking about the fact that knowing Lola is the key. That's how Big Mom is going to be befriended. And now it's turned out that Big Mom has disowned her daughter, which basically blows out that question in others' faces. So what is really going on here? Why did Lola talk about her mother so affectionately when it's clear that she ran away from something very important? Did Lola get brainwashed or something into thinking that Big Mom still is a loving mother? Or, here is a very dumb idea, but still hear me out. Is it possible Big Mom has multiple personality disorder? It's clear Big Mom is not sane, but she seems to, yes, I'm just seriously asking. So, unfortunately, this video becomes long. And I'm also asking, what kind of superpower would have allowed Big Mom to overpower all the Jonko if that political marriage have happened? Well, that's one thing I hate about One Piece. You always introduce these new powerful forces when we haven't heard about them a single bit before. And the fact that the Revolutionary Army, who by the way should be just as equal as a Yonko, is brushed off. Of course, Luffy is undetermined and saying with a very huge balls, you did not become the Pirate King, because it's clear Big Mom wants to become the Pirate King. Lola wasn't the one who wanted. Lola is one who didn't want to be married, and you are the one who didn't become the Pirate King. If your promise is gone, the fact that Big Mom was willing to look the other way, then I'll just fight you again. Don't get too cocky because you're a damn Jonko. I'll definitely get Sanji back. and the one who will end in the end is me. So yeah, Luffy is very confident. He is extremely confident he can defeat a Yonko. And no one believes him. But the thing is, you should know that Luffy gets stronger the more he faces difficult challenges. Look no further than the Impel Down arc. At the beginning he needed help from the other gang to knock out a Minotaur, but later on he knocked the Minotaur out himself with only one jet pistol. Of course, Sanji is still thinking that they cannot solve this. Finally, at long last, Pedro becomes the diversion, as Brook sheets out his swords with a glint in his sunglasses, saying, "Time for a special live concert." Oh, that picture was badass. I mean, I don't know what my thoughts on this chapter is, but I really love the fact that Brook was shining with his eyes there and drawing his sword. He is ready. So this is this chapter. Very long, I'm sorry about that. And as I said before, I have no idea. For every single chapter we get, ever since we got to the Whole Cake Island arc, the further we get into where I am asking, yes, how will this arc will be solved? And just what is going on here? There is something that is not making sense, but I don't know what it is. Lola lied about her mother. Or did she not know? The fact is that you need to think about this. Her crew members described Big Mom as an awesome pirate. A Yonko is more than an awesome pirate in my book. And what was that so-called high political marriage? And if you ask me, I think the Straw Hats will free the prisoners from those prisoner books, because that's the army they're gonna need to fight their way out of this. And Big Mom has promised to open that that box during the tea party. That is the key to something to happen. Of course, we still know signs of Capone, but please don't make him an ally. Give me your thoughts if you have any.